Dreams We've Had is the Minneapolis Dream Pop project from songwriter and producer Bennett Blumberg. Dreams We've Had is currently working on finishing its second full-length album, which was written entirely in a cabin in the woods with no technology for 25 days. They take inspiration from bands like Beach House, Tame Impala, My Bloody Valentine, and more to create music which feels genuine to Bennett and his emotions. I am very fortunate to have Bennett himself on the phone here today. Bennett, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm awesome, man. So what's life like up in Minneapolis right now? We're recording this on April Fool's Day, actually. So what's going on? How's life been going up there?
It's going good. I'm just, doing school and music, trying to finish up the album. Actually, was at the studio today recording some vocals, so, just grinding out the album. And, that's pretty much what's going on.
Damn, yeah, that sounds like a pretty busy life, man. How do you balance all that
busy
stuff?
I don't. I don't sleep. That's how I manage everything. I'm pretty good at having a lot of things on my plate at once. I don't like watch Netflix or play games or anything. I just do school and music pretty much.
I love that, dude. That's just all gas, no breaks.
Yep.
So I guess maybe this question makes sense, but have you had time to digest the new Tame Impala single? What do you think of it?
Oh, the Tame Impala single. Yeah, definitely. Well, it's been 4 years since there's been any new Tame Impala stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always a question, like, what are they going to do next? Like, if they're going to go back to sort of their old, like, psychedelic sound, or they're going to, continue on, like, more like a cleaner, like, I don't know what you call it, like, their current sound. And I guess it sounds to me like they're going more towards their, like, modern current direction, which is really cool. I think I need a whole album to actually put into context what's like up with Tame Impala.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely like the single.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm excited to see what else he has in store. But tell me a little bit about the project you're working on now, and tell me a little bit about the origin of Dreams We've Had, and when you launched it and started making music under that moniker, and kind of walk me through it, man.
Okay. Yeah. So right now I'm working on this, like you said, our second full-length album. I wrote most of it basically in a cabin in the woods in the middle of Nebraska, actually.
Yeah. Well, so what went behind that decision? Why decide to go out into the middle of nowhere for 25 days?
I want to do like the classic rock star thing where you go in isolation, don't talk to anyone for months on end, and just focus on one thing. And it was really just amazing getting that opportunity to focus on one thing only, and the music. I had no distractions, no responsibilities. I could literally think of one thing for 25 days. So it was just the perfect opportunity. And I always wanted to try it. And since it worked out so well, I think I'm going to probably continue to do that once a year probably.
Wow.
I did it over my winter break, which is why I was able to do it.
That's so cool.
But yeah.
Yeah, how did you find like the place to get it done? Did you get an Airbnb, or like how does that even work?
Yeah, I searched the entire Midwest for like the cheapest Airbnb that was like an entire house.
Oh, nice.
And so
that's how you ended up in Nebraska. Awesome. That's so funny.
Yeah, I ended up in Nebraska.
Oh, that's so cool. Nice, man. Well, so when can we expect to kind of hear when do you have plans to drop this second full length?
Yeah, so the rollout timeline is we're going to expect a single late April.
Okay.
So in this month, definitely. And then another single a month after that, and then an album in late June-ish. So it's coming up very quickly. This first single is basically done, ready to ship out. So I'm really excited. Yeah,
I am as well. Can you tell me a little bit about like taking a step back even? How did you get into making music? I mean, what's the origin behind the current genre you're playing in, and you're kind of playing history and stuff like that?
Sure. Well, I took piano lessons from like age 6. Every kid in our family, our parents forced us to do piano lessons from like kindergarten to 12th grade. And for the majority of that, I hated it. I hated practicing piano. It was just the worst thing ever. But then I think one day I was really pissed at the piano, and I like started smashing it a little bit. And just with my hands, like played some loud chords. I played 3 chords together. I was like, yeah, that sounds kind of cool actually. And that was my first experience of like writing something original. And from that point on, I just fell in love with songwriting, like, chord structures, just like the art of making music. And pretty much never looked back. Fast forward a couple years, got my first synthesizer. Then it started to, got some proper recording equipment. It just all kind of fell into place over time. I just never looked back. And eventually, here I am recording, stuff to release to Spotify. So it's really exciting that I get to do this.
Yeah. So when you picked up the synth and stuff like that, is this kind of like dream pop type of stuff what just came out naturally, or like what's the genesis behind your current sound?
So I definitely think it has a lot to do with the synths that I have. Mm-hmm. And I mean, to a degree, it's what I listen to. Like I listen to, obviously I listen to Beach House, Tame Impala, Mac DeMarco, all those bands. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I've always been drawn to sort of like a melancholy, atmospheric sound, even before I even listened to, those bands. So it's to an extent, my influences, but also to a degree, just like my natural inclination towards that sort of sound. And I really try my best to, create a sound that's true to myself, that's not like soaked in my influences, but also, has influences, but it's not like dominated. It's not like you could say, oh, that's Tame Impala, that's Beach House, that's every series right there. But like I want to have my own unique sound. And I think to a degree it's definitely influences, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to say where your influences start and where you begin, because I guess we're all just a product of our observations of the universe and the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it sounds like you have really good input, though. I mean, your input definitely determines your output, and I can tell you've got some really good input and really good output.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff, dude. Well, so we've got a song that's really, it seems like is getting a lot of traction recently. People are really loving it. I personally love it, and that's kind of why I reached out to you to have you on the show. It's a song called Perfectly Out of Place. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so that's Perfectly Out of Place. That's a song. I actually did not expect that song to get the reception that it did. Mm-hmm. I sort of released it cause we released an EP in August, and last August 2018, and I knew I was going to go into the woods in December to record an album, and I wanted to release some singles like in between then, just to like have some things out. And so I kind of released Perfect Out of Place as sort of like an afterthought. Not really an afterthought, but just to put something out in between the albums. And then I came back from the woods, and it had blown up.
Whoa, that's interesting. So you like were you even like zoned in or connected while you were out there to kind of see the reception, or was it just a shock to your system when you came back?
I had no internet, no communication. I didn't talk to human beings besides the grocery store or like a restaurant every once in a while.
Oh, dude.
So when I got back, yeah, it was kind of crazy.
That's so cool. That's like so into the wild type, but I mean, obviously a little bit less of the wild, but still like that's such a cool experience, man.
Yeah, it was crazy because when I left, I think we had like 20,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Mm-hmm. And when I came back, we had like 130,000. So wow. I was like, whoa.
That's insane, dude. That's such a pleasant surprise, isn't it?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, well, let's jump into it. This is a song called Perfectly Out of Place by Dreams We've Had.
Your be poetic or silly. I cut myself on the bathroom floor with scissors and I bled. I couldn't reconcile the pain I had, so I made myself breathe a new way. And I tried to hide my scars, but when you saw the blood stains on my bed sheets, you said what's wrong and held me. And I felt loved, and I felt loved for the first time, what seemed like forever. And as you grasped me tight, I felt like I was in the arms of God. And there I wailed, and there I wailed, oh, you're perfectly out of place.
So that was Perfectly Out of Place by Dreams We've Had. That song slaps, man. Like, I love the friggin' build-up. Like, it's just such a well-done song. And so, but you said when you wrote it, you weren't, like, you didn't think that it was going to have the reception it did. Like, what, I guess what was kind of going through your head when you did release it out into the wild?
Yeah, I really like the song. That's why I released it. I mean, obviously, I like all the songs I released, but, you know, I just released it, and just, I think you never really know. No one really knows what people are gonna like, because your perception of your own music is so, like, distorted by just, like, you know, your own biases, and then listening to the same damn recordings, like, over and over and over again. So you never really know. It's just kind of hard to tell, and then it's just a pleasant surprise, honestly. And I've been getting a lot of, you know, great feedback. And, like, my favorite thing is, like, looking through, you know, YouTube comments where people are saying that the song helped them emotionally or helped them through depression or things like that. Because that's what the song is kind of about, talking about, like, some really dark things I went through. And I think that's the beauty of music, is that it connects people in ways that you wouldn't expect. And everyone can draw meaning differently from different things. So that's the best thing for me, is because I always said with going with music, if I could impact one person with my music, then it would all be worth it, and everything else is just extra. So seeing those people saying that song helped them in any way is just such a blessing.
That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it. You're a very humble guy, and you seem like you have you know, really awesome intentions, and so I'm stoked to see, you know, what your future releases have in store. I'm really excited, man. But can you kind of walk me through that process of, like, you know, scale, like having a song that really just, like, pops off and scales up so fast? Like, is there anything you learned through that process that maybe you could, you know, I mean, maybe give any advice tactically to other artists that are kind of on the up and up, that are looking to grow their listenership?
Sure. Advice I would say is, in general, what I've learned just throughout the whole, you know, process of coming up from nothing. 'Cause I you know, I had the first 2 years of me releasing stuff on Spotify. After 2 years, I had like 4,000 streams total, and like now I get double that in a day. So I've been there where, like, I'm like, why isn't anyone listening to this? But I've learned that if you just keep true to yourself, don't compromise, don't try to make a song that, you know, oh, this will be something that everyone's going to like. You just write what you like, and either it'll be successful and that'll be great, or you'll have something that you'll like and you'll just be happy with it by yourself. Because if you write stuff for yourself, you'll be happy either way. And yeah, so just keep working hard and stay true to yourself. It's not going to happen if you don't work hard.
That's so awesome to hear, dude, that you're, you know, sticking to your kind of core values, sticking to your guns, and you're having success. I mean, you could argue that's the only way that you can ever really do it, but it's so cool to see you having success following that, and you know, doing these awesome stuff, like going out into the woods for 25 days with no technology is a really awesome story, man. You're doing cool stuff.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, man. Well, so what? So you're up there in Minneapolis right now. Are you from Minnesota area? Where are you from?
I'm from a suburb of Minneapolis, like 20 minutes south of the city.
Okay, awesome. So who are some of your favorites? So you've been in that community for a while. Who are some of your favorite local artists in the area? Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? Maybe you've collaborated with or played with or anything?
Yeah, definitely. There's this band called Why Not. They're these three guys from SPCPA. I mean, I don't know, maybe not all of them go to SPCPA, but that's I don't know if you know, that's like a performing arts college or high school that I think Hibble Campus came out of.
Okay.
If you were familiar with that band. Anyways, but these three guys, they're like young guys, but they're super technically proficient, and they just write super cool music. And yeah, definitely check out. They're called Why Not. They make sort of like, I don't know how to describe it. They really go all over the place genre-wise, but they make like somewhat math rock, somewhat emo, somewhat punk. It's just really cool stuff, and I think they're awesome. And then a couple other bands. There's a band called Alaska, like Alaska without the A.
Nice.
Those guys are really cool. And let me think. I mean, you probably heard of maybe. I really like Early Eyes. There's another band that's from the local scene.
What's the name? Sorry.
Called Early Eyes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The Minneapolis scene is popping off. There's a lot of like really cool indie bands out here. There's a really good supportive community. It's really awesome to be part of.
Yeah, one of my favorite emo bands is out of there, Remo Drive, if you've ever heard of them.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
They're crushing it. They're coming to Chicago soon, so I'm definitely going to go see them, I think in May, so next month. I'm pretty excited. Good stuff, though, man. This was awesome. What can people do to find you? Where's the best place to keep in touch with you, on the internet?
You can listen to my Dreams We've Had music anywhere you stream music or buy music, iTunes, Spotify, etc., everywhere. But then if you want to keep in touch, the best place is definitely Instagram. Just Dreams We've Had is the Instagram handle. And you'll get all the updates, releases, etc., shows. And we hope to go on tour eventually. So, stay tuned for that, yes.
Awesome. Yeah, so when you do play gigs, is it do you have like a crew that you play with typically? Or is it just you?
Yeah. I have a live band, a bass player and a drummer. They're just some of my buds from Minneapolis.
Awesome.
And I write and record all the music. I guess it's sort of like Kevin Parker from Tame Impala. He has a live band, but Tame Impala is just Kevin Parker does everything. But yeah, they're great guys, and the live sound is very much a different animal, and it's all owed to my buddies in the back.
Nice. Awesome. Well, great shout outs there. Thanks so much, Bennett, for coming on. Everybody check out Dreams We've Had if you liked what you heard today, and definitely stay tuned for future releases. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.